Hello friends, welcome to my channel. It's again Mercy. If you're a return subscriber, I appreciate you. If you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button, click the notification bell so that whenever I drop a new video, you will be the first to know. So today I'm going to talk about understanding the matrimonial proceedings in Nigeria. It's going to be a series because I have a lot of things to share with you. So let's begin the journey. When you hear about matrimonial proceedings, it's not just about proceedings that involve the dissolution of marriage, maybe to nullify a marriage, issue of separation, and all of that pertains to the family union. So we have several subheadings under the matrimonial proceedings. Now, either we talk about the dissolution of marriage, talk about nullity of marriage, talk about jactitation of marriage, talk about judicial separation, so we can talk about restitution of conjugal rights. So whichever one that comes your way, it's also all on the matrimonial proceedings. So as a lawyer, sometimes these briefs don't always come often. So when it comes, sometimes you are taken aback as to how do I file it? I don't have a precedent. What do I do? So whatever I share here today will help you whenever you have a brief involving matrimonial proceedings. Now, let's not first talk about dissolution of marriage, which is very common. It's one, at least 85% of matrimonial cases in court is on dissolution of marriage. Now, when someone comes to you, a client comes to you, I want to divorce my husband, I want to divorce my wife, this, that, that. After you've heard the story, there's a checklist you have to go through to understand that what you're going to file in court will not be messed up. I think of the whole stress and the whole, time wasted. So you have to ensure that the right thing is put in so that your matter will fly. Now, after hearing the story, you have to ask your client this question: um, whether they are still living together. If they're not living together, how long have they separated? You know, um, if peradventure they've just lived apart for like 1 year, you know that it will not fly. So we have the 2 year rule, we have the 3 year rule, where parties must have lived apart 2 years preceding the presentation of the petition. That means 2 years before you even file a process of for the petition for the dissolution of marriage, or 3 years. Now there are circumstances where you can bring a petition for dissolution of marriage within 2 years of marriage. Now, the idea behind this is so that to respect the sanctity of marriage. Marriage is a sacred union. So, as much as the courts are there to dissolve marriages at death, but the court also encourage reconciliation. The court also feels you can't just rush in and rush out. The court also feels like you can't use us as a channel by which you just you think just something you just enter without thinking, and you feel you can just come out like that. So these rules were put in place to ensure that the sanctity of marriage is upheld. You know, so the issue of living apart is very important, very, 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 very important. Then you also have to ask the client whether they are children of the marriage. Then what are the grounds? So you have to now ask them, what are the grounds upon which, after you heard the story, what are the grounds upon which you now bring your petition, which your petition will be based upon. There are several grounds as contained in section 15 of the Matrimonial Proceedings Act. Now, I'll get to that. I want to take it bit by bit. Now, if the marriage wants to be dissolved within 2 years, then you need the leave of court, be it a dissolution of marriage or nullity of marriage. Under section 30 or 40 of the Matrimonial Causes Act promotes provisions for where leave, of course, should be sought, either in dissolution of marriage or nullity of marriage. You also can check out Order 4, Rule 1 of the Matrimonial Causes Rules. It covers all this I'm saying. Now, when you want to bring application for leave to dissolve a marriage or to file for nullity of marriage, it has to be ex parte by ex parte. Now, you bring the application. When a court grants it, the leave is obtained. Then you can now file